Welcome to lecture 7.3 of Python module. Till now we have talked about list and tuple. In this video we will be talking about string, how to create a string, how to access each character inside it, various operations and methods available to us in string, and how to format a string. So let's begin. So in Python, a string is a sequence of character. For example, we have Python as a string. Why? Because we have declared it inside the inverted commas. You can use single, double or triple inverted commas, and string is a sequence of character. Therefore Python is a sequence of Python. So when I will be printing this name variable, it returns me Python, which is of data type string. Now let's try to print the type of the variable name. So as you can see that the name type is string. Now let's see how to access each character inside string. So here we have created a variable greet which stores data type string as its value. And now I want to access character inside string hello. So similar to list and tuple, since string is also ordered, you can access its element or character using indexing. So we have zero-based indexing where zero index represents the first value, first index represents the second element, and so on. So we use square brackets for indexing. So when I'm writing 1 inside square bracket, this indicates that I'm trying to access first index element. So this gives me E as its output. Similarly, we can also use negative based indexing where -1 represents the last element in a sequence, -2 represents the second last value inside the sequence, and so on. So here -4 represents E inside our string. So let's print this output and we got E as the answer. Instead of accessing one character at a time, you can also access a portion of a string, which we say at substring. So for that we use slicing. So slicing operator is colon. Before colon we write the start index, and after colon we write the end index, where start index is inclusive and end index is exclusive. Therefore, when I'm writing 1:4, this actually represents the values or characters starting from one index till third index. 4 is exclusive in this case. So it prints ELL as its output. Now let's see whether strings are mutable or immutable. In Python, strings are immutable. That means the character of a string cannot be changed. For example, here we have a string hello people stored inside a variable message. Now I'm trying to change the 0th index value of message, that is h in this case, to I. And then I'm trying to print this variable. This throws us an error. Why? Because message is a string and strings are immutable. Therefore, you cannot change the character inside them. But we can assign the variable name to a new string. For example, here I have a variable message which is initially assigned to a string hola amigos. But the same variable is assigned to the new string, that is hello friends. And now when I'm trying to print this variable, updated string will be given as an output. We can also create a multi-line string in Python, and for this we use triple double quotes or triple single quotes. For example, here I have declared a variable message inside triple double quotes, which means that whatever I'm writing inside this will be returned as it is. So if I'm writing space or new line which is empty, exact same lines will be printed, as you can see here. Now let's see very important part of string, that is operations. So we have multiple operations to perform on string, due to which this is one of the most used data type in Python. First is to compare two strings, and for this we use double equals to operator. If two strings are equal, the operator returns us true, otherwise it returns us false. For example, here we have three variables, string 1, string 2 and string 3, and each of them are assigned to string data type. Now here I am checking whether string 1 variable and string 2 variable are equal or not using double equals to operator. As you can see that hello world and I love Python are two different strings, this print statement will return me false. However, string 1 and string 3 are exactly same. Therefore, this print statement will return me true. Although one thing to notice that inside string, even the white spaces are included as a character. Therefore, when I'm removing the white space from string 3, now string 1 and string 3 variables are not equal. Therefore, this print statement now returns me false. In Python, we can also join or concatenate two or more strings using the plus operator. Let's see an example. Here we have created two variables, greet that stores hello string and name that stores Bhavya string. Now inside result variable, I will be concatenating or joining two strings together, that is greet plus name. So when I'm printing this result variable, you can see that both these strings are concatenated and printed together as one. Now let's see how to iterate through a Python string. Since string is also a sequence, and for sequence we use a for loop. Inside for loop we have a letter variable that iterates over a greet. Therefore, letter in first iteration will be H, in second iteration it will be E, in third iteration it will be L, and so on. So when I will be printing this code, you can see that every character of hello is printed in new line. Now to calculate the length of string, we will be using the length function. So here we have a variable greet that has hello string as its value, and then I'm trying to print the length of greet variable, which returns me 5 since we have 5 characters in total. To check the membership inside string, that means to check whether this substring is present inside string, we use in operator. So a in program is true, therefore this print statement returns me true. And what does not in does? So not in will return me true if at is not present inside battle. However, at is present inside battle. At is a substring of battle. Not in will return me false. So let's run this code and you can see that true and false will be returned as an output. Now let's see various common methods that are used for string. First being upper. Upper converts the string to uppercase and lower converts the string to lowercase. So both are opposite to each other. Here we have created a variable string that stores value Python, which is of string data type. Once I am calling upper method and then second I am calling lower method. You can see that upper method converted every character of Python into uppercase and lower method converted every character of Python into lowercase. We have replace method that replaces the substring inside. For example, here I have a text variable that stores volleyball value as a string. Now I have another variable replaced text, where what I'm doing is I'm replacing text volley into base. So basically I'm using a method replace that replaces volley substring into base. So when I'm printing this new variable, let's see what's the difference. So now volley is converted into base and rest of the characters including white space is same in the output as well. We have find method that returns the index of first occurrence of substring. We have seen its usage in list and tuple as well. So for example, I want to find the index of fun. So it will be returning me the index of F as soon as it is encountered inside string. So let's see what output it is giving. It is giving 12. So let's examine. So since Python obeys zero base indexing, P here is 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. White space is also a character. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So as you can see that F here is at 12th index. Therefore, message.findFun returns us 12. We have split method that splits the string from left. For example, I have a variable car that stores this as a string, and now I want to split this string whenever hyphen occurs. So I will be mentioning string dot split method, and when I want to split the string, whenever hyphen occurs, and this returns us the list. So as you can see that in our output, we have BMW, Tesla and Range Rover as a separate item inside list. And why they are as a separate item? Because we used split method. Now we have is numeric method that checks whether the string is numeric or not. So it returns us the Boolean value. So if a string is numeric, it returns me true. Otherwise, it returns me false. So in this case, it returns me true. Now index, it returns the index of a substring. So for example, text is the variable that stores this particular string. And now I want to find the index of is. So what will be the result? It will result me in 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So returns me 7th index. Please remember that white space is also counted as one character inside string. So 7 is our output. So what's the difference between index and find? Find method returns -1 if string is not found, whereas index throws us the exception. So it's always better to use find method because it won't throw us an error. Instead, it returns me -1, which indicate that whatever index you are finding is not present inside string. Also, the last topic of today is to see how to do formatting inside string. For example, I have two variable name and country and both are of string data type. One contains Srishti and one stores India. Now I want to print a string and inside that string I want to do formatting. So one thing was to use format function. For that we use parenthesis as the placeholder. However, in formatting of string, you just need to write F in front of string, and then inside these placeholder, you need to pass the variable whose value you want in this position. So for example, what this particular print statement will return, it will return me Srishti is from India. So let's run this program, and we got as expected. So again, repeating, to format a string, we will be using F just in front of a string, and inside placeholder, I will be passing the variable whose value I want in that position. So that's all in this video. Let's revise what all we learned. In Python, string is a sequence of character and we declare it inside inverted commas, whether it is a single or double inverted comma. To access character inside string, we use indexing, either zero-based indexing or negative indexing. And to access a portion of string or substring, we use slicing, and for that we have colon as its operator. And before colon, we write start index, which is inclusive, and after colon, we mention end index, which is exclusive. Python strings are immutable, therefore you cannot change character inside string. However, you can mention different string to that same variable you used before, since variable in Python are dynamic. Then we saw that how to declare multi-line string. So for that we use triple inverted commas, and by the use of this you can actually print the exact thing which you have written in the input. We have various operations for string, that is how to compare two string. For that we use double equals to sign. And for concatenating two strings, we use plus operator. To iterate over a string, we use for loop, since string is also a sequence. And to calculate length of string, we will be using length function. And to check whether a substring is present inside string, we will be using membership operator, which is in. In returns us true if substring is present inside string, and not in returns us true if substring is not present inside string. Then we saw various common methods of string, like upper that converts string to uppercase, lower that converts strings to lowercase, then replaces the substring inside. Find method returns the index of first occurrence of substring. Split splits the string from left and it returns the list. Is numeric checks whether the string is numeric or not and it returns a Boolean type. Index returns the index of a substring. So what's the difference between index and find? Find method returns -1 if substring is not found. whereas index returns us the exception. And at the end, we saw how to format a string. For that, we will be using if in front of string, and inside placeholder, we will write variable whose value we want in that position. So that's all in this video. Thank you.